Yeah, for me, a little family for me. You know I love you for me. Please stay with me. Yeah, for me, a little family for me. You know I love you for me. Please stay with me. Yeah, for me, a little family for me. You know I love you for me. Please stay with me. Yeah, for me. Me, for me, you know I love you for me. Please stay with me. Baby girl, I got another way I love you. Every day and night I go still the one to you. Let me be your superstar, gonna take you high to the sky. Oh, love for me, for me. You want me more fair value. Uma shisha kara kara, Kimbali Fiasha, you're my one desire.
A very warm welcome to all our listeners around the world. You're welcome to the Tony Tukumbo Fernandez Show, the show that promotes the true life and success stories of African and Caribbean achievers around the world. So if there's a product or initiative you wish to share, feel free to give us a call. The number is 0788 280 9005. That number once again is 0788 280 9005. Also, take time to visit our international blog at www.tonyfernandez.co.uk, as we have some amazing guests lined up on the Tony Tukumbo Fernandez Show for the rest of the year. Also, watch this space for our Black History Month celebrations taking place at the UK House of Parliament on Friday, the 28th of October next month. And also this month, the month of September, we also have some exciting initiatives in Estonia and Finland, so we'll keep you posted on that. But today, on today's show, we're moving all the way to Helsinki in Finland, where we're going to speak to another amazing African role model doing amazing things in Finland. His name is Mr. ELVIS FUAMBA. And I met him at the AFROBloggers convention several years ago in Berlin, Germany. He continues to create great legacies to people around the world. So ELVIS, is so lovely to see you after all these years. Welcome to the Tony Tukumbo Fernandez Show, and I hope you're doing fine in Finland. For the benefit of all our listeners around the world, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and the things you're most passionate about in life?
Well, thank you, Tony, for having me tonight. My name is ELVIS, as you said. Just a little correction. I live in Tampere, not in Helsinki. Tampere is the second city in Finland. All right, so a little bit about me. Like I said, my name is ELVIS FUAMBA. I'm from Congo originally, and I've been living in Finland for about 2 decades now. My main activity here is I'm an entrepreneur. I'm in a landscaping. I have a little company. But on the side also, I am an activist in an association called AFROFINNS, where we try to promote and elevate and encourage achievement of people with African background living in Finland. So basically what we do, we organize events that could range from cultural event to business events. It depends what is the goal of our action at that point. So yes, basically AFROFINNS engage with a lot of people in Finland. We don't have any particular side. We just trying to promote the African descent in Finland, the Finnish people with African background. So yeah, so basically this is me.
Now, I'm sure our listeners around the world are very excited to know more about AFROFINNS Initiative and the great work they're doing in Scandinavia as well. But before we go into that, let's talk a bit about yourself. What was the journey like for you as an African heading up in Finland? What was that journey like? And what memories did it bring back?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I came here pretty young, so we had different type of dreams there, mostly at my age. When I came, I was maybe 21, 22. So back then the dreams was mostly to find a better place to stay, and then find freedom, and whatever freedom meant at that time. So, but yeah, the journey was pretty easy, I would say. That's the feeling I have. It was pretty simple and pretty easy. So I had my points where I wanted to move to. I moved there, and of course, one part of my journey that I would say maybe the job that I'm doing is not something that I chose. Like, it's something that the environment like led us to. You know, when we came to Finland, the language was pretty complicated to speak. And then even though we had at that time graduated from the Tampere Polytechnic with a degree in business administration, it's practically impossible to use it in this country. It was completely impossible to use it. Yeah. So I did some maybe marketing job by at that time, where I had to make phone calls to French-speaking countries, but it wasn't what I was after. So basically, in the situation I had to do something to survive. So I started to learn again about landscaping and environmental construction. So that's what I ended up doing. And because I'm a business-oriented person, I turned that to a business, and then I created a company out of that. And that's what I've been doing for about 15 years now. But on the side also, AFROFINN was born with other needs and other wills to achieve something else than just make a living.
It's always a very fulfilling experience when you create new legacies in the diaspora, and it gives you a sense of fulfillment and triumph as well. But what would you say are the success stories and the challenges as well lots of Africans face in Finland? And also, how would you describe the spirit of community cohesion in Finland?
Well, I'll start with the community cohesion. It's growing now. 5 years ago, it was a little bit different. But of course, there's not only AFROFINN, there's other associations that were created back then. It's all ranged about 5 years ago now. Exactly the time we met also with you in Germany. So back then, there were a lot of associations springing up and being created. And that brought some kind of movement, I would say, into the Finnish society, where we really are seeing a lot of changes. Example, in the commercial, where they didn't used to be any black person or any foreign-looking person in commercials, but now everywhere there's a black person. So that's one direct change from the fact that we are now waking up, maybe I would say, and then we are doing things into the communities, and it's shown and is seen into the public. So the public also is reacting, the local public is reacting to that, and we can see the changes in TV, in newspapers, in social life. Yes, so in that way, I would say that the community kind of is creating itself and is building itself again and going on still stronger. But now, if you could remind me the first question, which I forgot while answering this one, so I could come back. What was the first question?
Okay, so the first question is the success stories of Africans and sometimes the challenges they face in Finland today.
Yeah, well, there are some successful stories, and I know that because we organize this gala night called AFROFINN Gala Night, where we have trophies and awards for people that have achieved something remarkable for the community, and there are a lot of successful stories. You know, I'm not going to start telling like particular stories, but they range into various areas of life, culture. We have people in TV now playing roles in programs in TV. That's visual art, and then we also have in music a lot of Africans or Black people are really getting to higher stages here. Politically, also, we have now 2 Finnish people from African descent in the parliament, and one is from Somalia and one is originally from Ethiopia. But of course, they're both Finnish also. So that is going good. And locally, a lot of people are engaging into politics. And that is encouraging, because we need people to engage into politics so we can also be able to change things. So those are the challenges I can talk about. Maybe the other challenges could be the language and the discrimination, which Finland, if you remember, in 2019 was voted the most racist country in Europe. So we're kind of dealing with that. not voted, but designated, as the most discriminative country. So that's true. That's a reality, even though it's not a reality. It's not a general reality for everybody. Like example, for me, I don't feel like I face racism every day in my life. I actually didn't. But I understand also that's only me. But most of the people face discrimination at work mostly. That's what I would say in Finland, and that is a big thing. Discrimination at work is a big thing. Is a big challenge that people are facing. So basically, I would say that, and the weather. Of course, you cannot talk about Finland without talking about the weather. -20 for someone that come from +30. That's the challenge right there. So yeah, this I can recall. I think the discrimination should be now put on the top one of the list of challenges for Africans or Afro descendant.
So Afrofin doing amazing things in Finland. For the benefit of all our listeners around the world today, listening from different parts of Europe, just talk us through some of the most memorable success stories with Afrofin over the years you feel so proud about.
Oh, I feel proud about the fact that we created a new word, AFROFINNS. I see people struggling to use it, putting Afro-Finnish, Afro-Suomalainen, but I think we were bold enough to create a wall in one that says Afrofin, and then I think that's the biggest achievement. The creation of it itself is a big achievement. But then, if you go into the every year, the action we did, I will immediately call the Gala Night is a big achievement, because this is some platform that we didn't have, that people can meet and celebrate what they have achieved, because this community or this society do not recognize everybody's achievement on the same level. So, I mean, the African achievement are never, or back then were not on TV or shown. So we created this platform to tell people that we see you and we appreciate what you're doing for our community. I think that's a big achievement. And also, the second one is like just bringing up the conversation about how to integrate. Who are we here and what we're doing here? That is one thing I will say is an achievement also, even though it's not concrete, but is a conversation that has started in the society and is going on and is creating a lot of good things. So those two things I would say. But of course,
you talk about integration, and you also say that you haven't been in a position where you faced much racism before.
Yeah.
When you talk about integration, can you think of things that sometimes we Africans take for granted when we're in the diaspora? How important is it for us to recognize some of the spirit of integration? And what tips will you give to Africans in the diaspora?
All right, that's a big question, but I will try to tackle it in this way, that what we take for granted. Yes, we come here carrying a big culture when we get here as diasporas, no matter where we come from, Caribbean, USA, African. We have this link that links us all together. And then when we get to the Western society, there's some rules and way to do things that are different. And because also the societies are well organized, we take for granted that everything is going to turn out very good, even though we don't try better, and then you can see that translate with a lot of my people procrastinating, pushing things from forward. And I think that's not a good way. I think we should use the same motivation that brought us here and continue with it. That motivation trying to drop down. But if we keep the same motivation that brought us here, it will mean that we need to be planning. We need to understand what we want and how to get there. We need to learn more. We need to have more knowledge about what we want. But I feel like this is what we take for granted, that the society is gonna make us live. So, but it's not for everybody. I think this is where also my tips will come. It's not for everybody. Most of people which now are becoming, I think, the majority of the diaspora, we are really searching, creating our own networks, and that is very important. That's one advice that I will give in any community, in any city in Europe that is trying to build any sort of coherent community, to create networks, because through networks we get also possibilities to have new ideas, new partnership, and that only opens the possibility for the community in general, and then knowledge is shared into the networks and everybody learn. And we share also culture into that, even though we think that being here changes our culture, but the fact that we mingle and we network also keep that culture alive. So I will think that not to stay on your own corner, but to go out and network with your community and with other people, so you get to learn, you get to move with everybody.
Talking about networking, how important would you also say it is for Africans in the diaspora to develop a spirit of integration and be the change we want to see in any society?
Yeah, I would say, like Obama said, we are the change we've been waiting for. So we are here, and now this is the time, I'll say. And for me, it's like I always think where we're going to be 5 years from now. So in that way, when you think about where you want to be 5 years from now, it gives you also all the direction you need to take to be there. So if we once again think that we are the one that's supposed to bring the change, I think that is going to push us also to start working into it. And in that, network comes in, and then I think again, like by networking, we get all other solutions, covered, or kind of we get answers to some darker issues that we couldn't solve on our own. But when we network, there's more possibilities and more openings for us to deal with them.
On a very final note, for the benefit of all our listeners today who want to get involved with you and AFROFINN initiative for some collaborations, what social media handles out there they can log on, and how can they reach you?
Sorry, what social media handles? Yeah,
for AFROFINN, and how can they reach you?
Okay, yeah. Well, we use basically as platform, we use Instagram and Facebook at the moment, and then we have also our webpage. So to reach us is simple, afrofinn.com, and there's most information about us. So, yeah, I would say that's the easiest. You can also through our webpage or Facebook send us a message through Instagram, and we will answer that as soon as possible. But the quicker way is an email or a phone call, and which you can find the details on our webpage, which is afrofinn.com.
On a very final note, what message do you have for all our listeners around the world today?
Plan your future. The only way to success is planning. If we procrastinate, push things for tomorrow, they're not going to happen. The future don't exist. Now is the moment. So let's plan now and let's be active now. That's what I will say to my community.
Beautiful. Now is the moment, and keep on doing the amazing work you're doing at the moment. I look forward to seeing you in Finland next week. Keep shining, and God bless you always.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to Finland. See you next week.
God bless you.
Bless you too. Thank you.